Hello everyone, this is Just a Dad. Today I'm going to do a detailed review on this Cuisinart single serve coffee maker that uses K-cups. And it also has a reusable coffee filter we can use. But this is model number SS-10. Now this sells for about $136. It comes in 6 colors. So this thing is a really nice, Cuisinart made a really nice K-cup machine. So this is going to be competing with Keurigs, but it's got the standard K-cup holder. You can use any standard K-cup, generic, Keurig, it doesn't matter. They're all going to fit in there. It's got the standard needle that's going to pierce it at the bottom, and there's a needle that's going to pierce it at the top. But it's got a really nice backlit display. It does 1, 2, 3, 4, it does 5 different servings. 4 ounce, 6 ounce, 8 ounce, 10 ounce, or 12 ounce. That's really nice. You don't see that very much where it does that many different sizes. It's got a really nice drip tray. It holds enough if you do an accidental, say you forget to put your coffee mug there. It holds enough for an accidental brew. It's got this really nice water reservoir on the side. It's got a lid. It is removable. I tend to use a pitcher to fill mine up, but you can remove it and take it over there. It's 72 ounces, so that's actually really big for a Keurig machine. But it's got a track it slides in. It does have a charcoal filter. It comes with an actual charcoal filter that sticks down in there. It's got a groove. So the water intake is right there. So the charcoal filter is going to sit right on that water intake, so that the water has to go through that charcoal filter before it gets into the machine. And these are really simple to change. They're just a holder. You're going to get your new one. You're going to rinse it under water first to get the dust off, then you're going to put it in. So it's very simple. So the back, no cord storage. It is a 3-prong electrical outlet, so make sure you got a 3-prong outlet. So the mechanism to lift the lid is a little different. So see how, at first I thought I broke it. I'm like, oh, that was supposed to be glued, but this is actually how it works. So there's you lift this up and then it kind of lifts a latch and then the whole thing comes up. So that's how it's supposed to work. Like I said, even though you think, oh, I broke it, because you would think this would just lift up, but it's Cuisinart's way of doing it. Cuisinart makes really good coffee makers, and this is no exception. The footprint on this isn't huge. It feels well made. It's not super heavy. I just like the looks of it. So it's got a spring-loaded switch. So it's not an on-off, but it's every time you toggle it, it turns it on and off. So it's spring-loaded. And it's got this storage in the side. You press it, and that's where the reusable coffee filter is. So we can put our own coffee grounds in here, which is a really nice feature, and I'm going to demonstrate that too. So it has a brew button. It has hot water. You can do just hot water, and you can do a quick rinse, which they recommend doing a rinse in between different flavors of drinks. So say you brew a tea, then you want to do a coffee, you're going to want to do a rinse. But everything is activated, so you have to lift this lid to kind of get it to say ready. So by lifting the lid, you put your K-cup in, and then you put it down, and then it kind of activates it ready to go. So dimensions, you need about, let's say 12 inches front to back. Side to side, 10 inches. And up down, 12 inches. So it is a really small footprint, and this thing is very, very capable. So it does fit a standard coffee cup, so with the drip tray, about 6 inches. But you can take the drip tray out and put your travel mugs. So this one just fits. You got to kind of tilt it, but it does fit. That's a pretty big travel mug, but it's got this little lip down here that you got to get past. You don't just slide it in. So this travel mug is 7 inches tall. That's the maximum. So let's go over the control panel. This is a really nice control panel. It's got a nice blue backlit to it. The buttons light up when they're ready to go. So press the menu button one time and it brings up all the menus. There's clock. You can set the clock. The auto off. That's how long the machine stays on after you brew your cup of coffee. You can set that anywhere, all the way up to 8 hours or 9 hours. I'm sorry, but you can have it so it never turns off. It stays on all the time. 30 minutes. You can't do the minutes. All you can do is hours. So we would set it, you know, an hour would be probably fine. So this auto on time set, this just turns the unit on. It doesn't, it kind of misleading, making you think, oh, maybe it brews me a cup of coffee at 9:30 in the morning or something. But it doesn't. So it's going to just turn the whole unit on to kind of get that heating element working. I mean, this isn't a really slow machine anyway. I'm not sure I would use that feature. But that way when you wake up in the morning, the blue lights are on and it is kind of ready to go. Otherwise, you just got to hit the power button on the side. But so let's hit that menu button again. So we were on auto on. So like I said, you can set it for 7 a.m. in the morning if you wake up at 7. And then it has an auto off. So say you were at work by 8, so you would turn it off at 8. You would just scroll through here to pick what time you wanted it off, all the way down to the minute. Now this display only has PM. It doesn't have an AM indicator. Brew size. Now this has got extra hot and hot. I'm seeing about a 10-degree temperature swing. So with hot, it's about 165, which is a standard coffee maker. Extra hot is about 175. That's a little bit hotter. So maybe if you were taking it in a travel mug or something, that might be worth, I know a lot of people brew on the extra hot, but that's the difference, about 10 degrees. So press the menu button again. This brew size. If you want the default brew size to be, there's 4, 6, 8, 10, or 12. You can pick. So say I do 8 ounce every day. That's the default anyway. But say I wanted to do 6, I could pick a 6. That way it would always do a 6. When I activate it, lift the head, put it in, the 6 is highlighted. Now I can change it, but that 6 is where it starts at. Let's go back to the menu. I want to show you clock one more time. So clock. This has a neat feature. You can turn the clock. So I'm on clock. No, there I'm on clock. The clock is flashing. So I can scroll through. I can turn the clock off. I've never seen that before. So it doesn't display what time it is. Otherwise, you're going to use, so this left button is just for the hours. And again, AM means there's no display lit. And it does have PM. And if you want to do the minutes, you just have to scroll all the way through the minutes. There's no going back and forth. So we can set the clock for, say it's 7:09 p.m. And then we just scroll through all the way. And that gets us back to the ready. 7:09 a.m. It's telling, so let's do the auto off. Yeah, again, I showed you that. That's how long the coffee maker stays on. Okay, so now the brew function is for just a standard K-cup. If you have a tea or a coffee, or there are cappuccino and latte K-cups. Now, brew size for a coffee K-cup, you know, they give you these options because you can pick any one of them. Now, I do around the 8 ounce. To me, it tastes pretty good, kind of like out of a coffee pot. But, you know, if you want it a little bit weaker, you can go to 10. You can go all the way up to 12. Or if you want it really strong, you can go to 4. That's why they give you these options, I think. It's so everybody's taste kind of varies, and it lets you pick. So we would just, like I said, you have to activate it, close it. It says ready. And then you're going to hit the brew button, and it's going to brew whatever you have selected. Now, the hot water, that's just if you want to brew hot. It brews it around 176. And it brews whatever ounce. So whatever ounce you have selected, it just brews hot water. Now the rinse is, like I said, in between like a coffee and a tea, you'd want to do a rinse. And it rinses at the 4 ounce setting. So that's a really simple control panel, really nice. I really like this machine. So let's start with doing a cup of coffee. Okay, so I've got my Folgers K-cup. I'm going to lift this handle. I'm going to just place the K-cup in here. I'm not going to press it down and poke it myself. Let the machine do the work. And then you're just going to take the lid and it's going to pierce. So you got to kind of press and then it's going to stop. Then the display says ready. And all I got to do is come up here and hit the brew button. It's It's going to brew it on the 6-ounce setting. And it starts brewing right away. Okay, so we're going to check a temperature. Yeah, brews it around 155. So you may want to go the extra hot setting. Might come out a little hotter. This one is just on... No, that's on the extra hot setting. I'm sorry. So yeah, the coffee comes out about 155. Yeah, so I would leave it on the extra hot setting. So how's this coffee taste? You know, it tastes pretty good. I've had coffee out of here, and I've had all these different K-Cups in here, and you get a really good taste out of it, just like you would out of a Keurig machine. Yeah, that's a good cup of coffee. So cleanup is pretty simple. You're just going to lift the machine, and you're just going to pull the K-Cup out. Now be careful, this can be a little hot, and you're going to want to... I have a video on how to recycle K-Cups, or you can just throw them away. Okay, so say we wanted to do a rinse. We would just close it, put something down here, and just hit the rinse button. So see how you can't see, but the 4-ounce mark was flashing, and it's just going to run 4 ounces of water through here to just kind of flush it out for the next person. Okay, so now I've got it rinsed out. Let's say we wanted to just brew a hot water. Let's do let's go up to, let's do a 10-ounce hot water. So we would just come up here, hit the 10 ounce. It says hot water, and it's just brewing hot water. So it brews hot water pretty hot, around 170. So I want you to see, this machine does kind of splash a little bit. I've not seen that out of other machines, but maybe I haven't noticed, but I am kind of noticing this one kind of makes a mess. Okay, so there we have, and the hot water is about 170 degrees, 167, and that's on the extra hot setting. Okay, so I like to take the K-Cups. I like to cut them open. Maybe you just haven't seen what's inside. So I'm going to cut this K-Cup open, and we're going to see what's inside. So there you go. It pierces the bottom, and then there's all the coffee grounds that are in these K-Cups. 2 tablespoons worth of coffee grounds. And there's a nice filter. Now this filter is going to be important because I'm going to show you in a little bit. We're going to use the reusable K-Cup or the reusable pod that comes with the machine, and I bet we're going to get some sediment in our coffee. Filters really prevent sediment a lot. Okay, so the side of the machine, we're just going to grab that reusable cup. Okay, so let's take a look at this reusable. It seems like it's pretty well made. It's got this filter basket. We're going to put 2 tablespoons of coffee in here. That's the maximum, it says. That's kind of like a wire filter. And then it goes inside here, fits real nice, and then the lid snaps. So you do have to take out the needle on this one. So in order to use this, you've got to take this out. And it just lifts out. It could be hot. If you're having trouble getting it out, you can just poke from the bottom. I found that to be a little easier. The needle is down in there. It's not gonna, you can poke from the bottom all you want. It's not gonna poke you there. But you gotta take this out in order to use this. Now this it just can sit in there any old way. I know at first I was like, well, it seems like it should go in there a little better, but when you close this, it creates a tight seal. So we're going to fill this up with coffee and then put it in there. So I've just got Folgers ground coffee like you'd put in a normal coffee maker. And we're going to put 2 tablespoons in. So it can be a little tricky getting the coffee in. It's got a pretty nice big opening though. That was nice. All right, so we're going to want to make sure there's none on this lip. Okay, and then we're going to close it and it snaps. Now we're going to put it in the machine. So again, I've got the lid off. I've got this out, and I'm just going to set it there. And I'm going to close it. I'm going to put my coffee mug under. I've got it on the 6 ounce. I'm just going to hit the brew button. And we're going to watch it brew with this reusable filter. Brewing at about 161. Okay. So there's a 6 ounce cup of coffee. Now, I noticed with this reusable filter, it didn't splash all over. Must have something to do with this when it comes out. It was kind of just splashing all over. But there you go. There's your cup of coffee with just regular coffee grounds. That's a really nice feature. But I'm going to let this sit. I'm going to taste it. It tastes... Yeah, that's a really good cup of coffee. It's hard for me to taste the difference between a K-cup and ground coffee. But I'm going to let this sit and we're going to check for sediment. So while we're letting that sit, we're going to lift this up and there's that reusable filter. Now we do have to kind of clean it a little bit, but yeah, it's not too hot. You can take it out. So be careful, this is a little hot. So we lift the lid, okay, and well, that's how it brews it. Kind of makes a hole down the center. So we just lift the filter out. So we didn't get any coffee grounds. We do have some on that lid that we got to clean. This is really hot, so be careful. So after you get the coffee grounds out, you still are going to have to wash this off pretty good. And you're going to get some coffee grounds down your sink a little bit. But there's what it did to the coffee grounds. Looks like it did a pretty good job. Yeah, so be careful. I broke the lid off when I was cleaning it. But so you just put it back. It cleans up really easy. I just used some soap and water. You do get some oils in there from coffee. So then we're just put it here and we can stow this now. And we just press the button. And that's really nice. I like that feature, how it stows it. So now let's put our K-cup holder in. Now it does have an arrow. And there's an arrow up here. So just line the arrows up. Again, be careful. If your needle does become clogged, this little bottom cap comes off. And so I'll just show you that real quick. You just kind of like break it in half and it comes apart. There's where you would unclog the needle with like a paper clip. And then these have 2 tangs. You're going to line back up with the holes and just snap it together. Okay, so we're going to put it back in. We've got the arrow, and it just kind of snap it in. And like again, it comes out relatively easy. And just snap it in. It should be nice and flush around. Okay, so this was my K-cup from earlier. I just want to show you. You know, you do get just a tad bit of sediment, but that's not too bad at all. Now, this is the coffee grounds out of that reusable coffee filter. So yeah, you do get quite a bit of sediment. Now, I'm not a coffee expert. I don't know if sediment is good or bad. I've had coffee with sediment in it. I can't taste it, but you do get some sediment. So as you're drinking your coffee, you're going to notice it when you get down towards the bottom. That looks like a Ross painting, like the trees and all that. It's really cool. But I just wanted to show you that. So again, everyone, this is Just a Dad. I really like this Cuisinart coffee maker. It does all the standard K-Cups. I'm going to do some other videos with some other different types of K-Cups. I'm also going to do another video with this reusable K-Cup from Perfect Pod. So again, thanks everyone for their support. And if you could, please like and subscribe. And thank you for watching.